Robbie hit us up and said, is there a point where the reporting and questions about the trend of poor decision-making of Georgia players becomes loud enough that winning back-to-back titles is not enough to overlook what's going on in Athens recently? So Robbie's asking something that I think most of you are familiar with. There's been a run of bad headlines out of Georgia. We, of course, had the stuff surrounding the draft, and I don't want to make light of this. Every time we talk about this, there was an incident up there in which lives were lost, and anytime that you speak flippantly about it, or anytime you dismiss the wholesale notion that Robbie's talking about, it could be misconstrued as, oh, you don't care that that two players, a player, Devin Wilcox, and Chandler LaCroix, who was an assistant, they lost their lives. Well, I very much do care about that. What Robbie's asking goes well above and beyond that. I mean, I think Georgia's program has been adequately criticized, I guess is the right way to put it, for what happened there. So I speak very carefully about this. But Robbie's saying, okay, all the other stuff, all the other headlines, all the other player arrests, or just, bad publicity in general, is there a point where you get too much of that and it overshadows the back-to-back championships and basically the momentum they've built as a program? And my answer is, yeah, I guess there's a point where that would happen. They're not even close to it. Not even close, nor will they get close to it, would be my guess. And again, I don't want to sound flippant about this. I don't think most people care. Just being honest with you. I don't think most people care. I think rival fans of Georgia do the same thing that any fan base does, and that is when your rival's team has some mud on it, has some negative headlines, you throw it in their face. Georgia fans have done it to Florida before. Florida fans, Auburn fans, Bama fans are doing it to Georgia right now. That is a cycle that is old as time. That'll always happen. But to really hurt Georgia, what would you have to do? You would have to cut off the supply of talent. And I don't know any recruit, I don't know any family of any recruit, and this is me personally speaking, that has been deterred from considering the University of Georgia by negative headlines. I really think it's something that fans and media get more caught up in than the players and the families themselves. And here's why. You don't really get Kirby Smart in your living room, nor do I get him in my living room explaining their approach to things. And I really think whether you're a Georgia hater, a Georgia fan, you're indifferent to Georgia or not, I think if you were to just hear their side of things, at the very least, you'd probably go, okay, benefit of the doubt, that makes sense. I'm picking up what they're putting down. That would probably be your takeaway. The whole perception that this is just a fly-by-night operation and they want to win, consequences be damned, they don't care about any rules, they'll win at all costs. That's not the case. No program that sustains excellence operates like that. It's just a myth. You want to believe that about them if you don't like them, but that's a myth. So no, short of some really, really catastrophic headlines off the field to this point that haven't happened, and I mean above and beyond anything that's already happened, short of that happening, or short of massive NCAA scandal, short of Kirby Smart having something in his personal life blow up that bleeds over into football, none of which we know anything about, obviously. I'm just speaking in hypotheticals. Short of that happening, I don't see anything that's happened so far between the time they won the title and now that's going to slow them down. Now, you could have a separate conversation with me and say, well, should it be the case? Should people care more about A, B, C, D? That's totally within your right to have that conversation. We're not going to do it on this particular show on this particular day, but I'm just stating facts as they appear to me. And if I'm wrong, here's where you'll know it. If I'm wrong, they won't finish with a top 3 recruiting class. As it stands right now, they got the number 1 class in the country, and even though it's early, my bet is they stay there. And if they do fall from number 1, they won't fall past number 3. And if that's the case, you got to come back to me and tell me, was there really much negative consequence? Was there really a whole lot of negative fallout from this? Doesn't seem to be the case, at least to me. Reasonable minds can disagree.